Hi, I'm Alicia. My project has actually not yet fully been approved, but it's actually for a 5-year-old boy that I named Jackson. Um, the reason specifically for his referral is in terms of the stereotypical stimming behavior that he exhibits. It actually interferes a lot with his learning opportunities and social opportunities and play opportunities. So it's definitely something that my supervisor and I decided that this project would be good for. Um, Specifically, as per my behavior change project, I did behaviorally define it as a stereotypical stimming that consists of spinning, rotating, twirling, and tapping any object that is not designed to be spun. Some examples of that can include things like books, the top of a box, toys, parts of toys, puzzle pieces, anything that's not typically designed to spin with. Specific non-examples would be a toy that is made for spinning, for example, like a toy top that you spin, or if you're to spin a ball, spinning the propellers on a helicopter, for example, those would all be non-examples. Those are just to name a few. Specifically to record data, for baseline, what I'm going to do is use partial interval data. So it'll be for a period of 10 minutes, and each interval is broken down into 30 seconds. So anytime in that 30-second interval, I will either record a plus for yes, the behavior was exhibited, or minus no, the behavior was not. And then the intervals will be added up for how many that he was actually stimming in and divided by the total, which will give me a percentage of how much time in that 10-minute session he was actually stimming. The intervention will begin once we obviously have all the baseline data and once I actually have the approval to start the baseline. The intervention will be basically to identify and have him identify what an appropriate item to stim with and an inappropriate item to stim with. So specifically, we actually got him a little card made. It's about the size of a student ID card. It has a picture of him on it. It's hard, so it's got this plastic feel to it that he likes when he taps on it, and I'm assuming he likes the sound or the feel. So we got him that made, and it will specifically be worn on a lanyard around his neck. So that is something that we are going to use as like a replacement, and we are going to call that an appropriate item to stim with versus inappropriate items, which would be the toys or books or boxes. Let's see here. So this essentially, what we want him to do is to be able to identify what's appropriate versus what's inappropriate. So the data collection for that will be a plus if he's using any type of inappropriate item, and a minus if he's actually using the card for those intervals. And then essentially, like I said, we want him to be able to identify an appropriate versus inappropriate item. And then, long term, as that kind of gets under control, that can really encourage him to play appropriately with certain items, and he can reach his goals potentially a lot quicker in acquisition for play goals, social goals, or even his current goals that he has in lesson that we do at the table. So that's my project in a whole, so I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that it gets approved. Yeah, so leave your comments and let me know what you think.